Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you for joining me for this. So today I was inspired by a YouTuber called Smoky Glow, and I love her videos. I love watching her talk about just anything she talks about, really. And she did a video and it was her kind of opinions on people's opinions about makeup and things in general, and I thought that would be a really good idea to do. My opinions on your popular and unpopular opinions about makeup. So I think we can learn some stuff together. I can kind of answer a few questions and be a bit like, well, you know. So I have them all here. I asked you over my Instagram. So I have all your replies. Thank you for every single one of them. So let's go through your popular and unpopular opinions about makeup and the makeup industry and about YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Before we get into that today, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. And it is my goal here on YouTube to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who is really good at makeup. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, let's do it. Let's get straight into it. And let's start off with our first opinion. And remember, they're just opinions. This one says, Urban Decay's all-nighter setting spray smells like week-old vase water or vase. Listen, it has a smell. It does have a smell about it. And I actually kind of thought a little bit about this, and I thought about products that smell not so great. And I kind of think it comes down to things like fragrance and not wanting to add artificial fragrance into a product. And to be fair, most products that have fragrance in, without the fragrance, they're gonna smell like crap. They're gonna smell so bad. It does definitely have this damp smell, this wet kind of like sweet, vase water, like old flowers. It definitely does. Let me know your opinions about Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray below. I'm not the hugest fan. I like to use it before foundation as a primer, but as a setting spray, I'm like, I could live without it. So next opinion, I don't really like highlighting because I have very oily and textured skin. I feel it emphasizes that. I would agree. In some cases of a highlighter, whether it's glittery or not, can really emphasize textured skin. And of course it's up to you if you don't want to wear it. I do find it difficult to use sometimes on most textured skins, but highlighter can be used in more ways than just whacking it on the face in certain areas. A little bit under the brow bone, a little bit on the inside corner of your eye, a little bit on the lip here, and then even just a tiny bit right up here can give you a really nice glow without having to go to those textured areas. A lot of people create that line and especially if they get it on the cheeks and all around the nose, and you can see all kinds of texture, but used in a way that's not so heavy and invasive on the face can give a really nice glow to it. I think if you have textured skin, a really nice way to get a glow to the skin without using too much highlighter is to mix in a product with your foundation that is going to highlight, like strobe cream for example, or like Becca's liquid highlighter. Mix that in with a bit of foundation and then use that on the areas you want to highlight. Powder highlighters can sit and really make texture, like powder does anyway. It really emphasizes texture on the skin. Next one, face primers are overrated. Okay, here's what I think. Primers are an old product. They're nothing new. They've been around years and years. Like the technique of priming skin and the thought of priming skin is an ancient technique, like literally ancient. I agree with this one, and I also disagree in a way that most primers are completely overrated. They're fancy primers where it's like, this primer's gonna lift your face and also, you know, just something, all these claims. However, I do like primers if you can get the right one. I like primers that benefit your skin if you need help with your skin. For example, if you're extra oily and have large pores, or you're extra oily but also dehydrated, so you have textured skin. If you're extremely dry and foundation grips to the skin, then I think you can benefit from a primer. One, because it helps with the texture, and two, because it protects your skin a little bit more. However, if you have like normal skin, or you don't find yourself having to touch up your foundation throughout the day, you're not adding too much powder, or you have drier skin but you have really good skincare, you might not need a primer. So I really think it's personal opinion, but when people say you absolutely have to use a primer, I don't think you do. Eye primers, yes. Face primers, This one says, Scott Barnes' techniques freak me out sometimes. I can see why. Scott Barnes, for those of you who don't know, is Jennifer Lopez's makeup artist, who is also a makeup artist, but more well known for creating that kind of like J-Lo glow that everyone wanted. So the way he does the makeup is almost like he's painting on the skin. For every day, it's not good makeup. It's not ideal. That's the wrong word. It is good makeup, but it's not ideal. For being on stage, for being in front of a camera, for doing all this other stuff, it is perfect. And here's what you have to remember. Someone like Jennifer Lopez, who is going to be on camera almost every time, walking somewhere, she's going to get paparazzi'd. You know, on stage, lights fade and blur and do all this other stuff. So when you're doing someone's makeup, especially if it's for stage or for a wedding or for a photo shoot, things like that, you have to bear in mind the lighting, because certain things aren't gonna show up in other lightings. Red light can completely diminish some colors, you know, so you have to bear that in mind. So for real life, for our real lives, techniques not so friendly, but for like Jennifer Lopez's everyday life, primer before mascara does nothing but clump your lashes together. So I would kind of agree. So here's the thing. It depends which one you get as well. I'm not a fan of lash primers. I never really have been, or like putting powder on your lashes to make them look bigger. I just don't feel the need to. There's a mascara wand for everything. If you want longer lashes, you just need a mascara wand that has that the hairs are tighter together. Don't use a plastic one because it separates quite a bit. That also gives you some definition. But if you want longer lashes, which is you know what a primer does, primers I really do agree that they kind of just group your lashes together like this and then extend them a little bit and they look clumpy and shit. You just need a good mascara. Experiment with mascara ones. You know what? Buy a pack of mascara ones from Amazon, disposable ones that have all different types of heads, and experiment with them and see which one you really like. Do you like plastic? Do you like the artificial hairs? What is it you like in a mascara wand? Before investing into a mascara, it's the brush that does all the work. Morphe eyeshadow brushes are totally overrated. I actually use quite a lot of Morphe brushes because I find they get the job done. Are they the best ever? No. There's one or two brushes where I really need those in my kit. But it's the same with every brand. I can give or take a few. Are they useless? No. Are they good? Yeah. This one says, the more I watch, the more I mind when they don't say it's sponsored. So I think she's referring to sponsored content on YouTube. 100%. Let me just say something. I'm going to speak for people within the UK. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before. So for example, my review, my Tati Westbrook Blenderful and the palette review, I had a comment that really annoyed me. And so here's the thing, hate comments don't annoy me, but this comment really annoyed me because it's like, you don't get it, you haven't done your research. They said to me, they think that it was a sponsored post, like all the products were sent to me, which they weren't at all. The Blenderful was sent to me by a subscriber, which was the nicest thing ever. I still keep in contact with them, we still talk. And the palette I bought with my own money. Here in the UK, it is the law, it is illegal if I don't say that something is gifted or sponsored or in partnership or if there's some kind of business agreement or arrangement, I have to say it. I can get in a lot of trouble for doing that. And here's the deal as well. Okay, so let's think of all the people on YouTube that have reviewed this palette and the Blenderful. Millions of subscribers, millions. What benefit does a company that has millions of subscribers get from paying me with my almost 300,000 subscribers to review this? There's no benefit there. And what made it even worse was that then Tati then shouted me out in her video. So it seemed like an agreement, which it wasn't. It is against the law in the UK to not disclose this. So if there is someone in the UK, let's hope, and I think in America as well, because when you upload a video on YouTube, you have to tick whether it has sponsored content. Even if you do a YouTube live, you have to insert as well, it contains sponsored content. So yeah, it's a difficult one because you really can't tell who has these undercover sponsors. I was watching Raw Beauty Christie and she mentioned about how some brands still try and do this like undercover sponsorship. I don't feel comfortable taking sponsorships. I'll be 100% real with you guys. I had a sponsorship from a company I was like, oh, amazing, a sponsorship. And it's a company that I really, really, really like. Like, I love their product. I actually use it all the time. And I was like, what a perfect opportunity. However, I was filming the video and I felt so uncomfortable selling something. And it wasn't even selling it because I really do like it, but it made me feel really uncomfortable. So yeah, sponsorships, I don't know how people can lie about a sponsorship when I'm being upfront and saying, you know, I really like this product. Not that I've ever had a sponsorship now, but, you know, I really like the product. I don't get how someone can be like, I really like this and actually really hate it, but they're being paid for it. So yeah, I agree. That went on forever, sorry. Makeup salons should have a license to prove they are professionals. Here's the thing. I think, I worked for a salon, right? And I don't care if any of them are watching because you're all awful people. So I worked for this salon and they were going to get into like the whole makeup thing and they wanted a makeup artist. I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll be your makeup artist. I'm tired of freelance. I just want to have like a contract and have makeup. So I worked for them and one of the girls who was doing makeup at the time, she, the manager of the salons has sent her on makeup training. She wasn't a makeup artist, anything like that. She was with the company before I started. The makeup she was doing on people really wasn't very nice. Her hygiene wasn't good at all, which I think is one of the most important things in makeup. And she didn't have a clue about anything, which is fine. Everyone needs to learn, everyone needs to grow, everyone can practice, but offer a free service or offer a discounted service. Like when you get a trainee person going to cut your hair, they're like, I'm a trainee, do you mind? It's going to be £10. I'm like, no, do it. Everyone's trying to jump on this bandwagon of makeup being like this big thing at the moment. And I actually think it's taken advantage of some people. Makeup courses, academies, schools, they're really taking advantage of the fact that people are really into makeup. I feel like it would be a great idea to have at least a portfolio you can look through of a makeup artist, the Instagram page for the makeup artist, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, there are amazing makeup artists out there who are self-taught, who didn't go to school, who didn't do any of that, but still know hygiene, still know safe practice. So, it's a difficult one. I don't know how the law works. Because I know people who are self-taught and are so much better than people that have degrees. So yeah, that's a difficult one. But I totally get what you mean. We can see by these, you know, like I go to the worst reviewed makeup artists. We can see from them that there are salons out there that are just doing it to make an extra bit of money. Older people can't wear bright colours on their eyes. So I've had quite a few like mature clients. And one thing they always say to me is like, I really want to wear, you know, these bright colours, or I want to wear something that's a little bit lighter or a little bit shimmer, but old people aren't meant to wear that. Here's what I think, okay? First of all, you can wear whatever you want, done in the right way. If you want to wear a bright colour, wear the bright colour. Like, it's not a rule that if you're 60, you can't wear lime green. You know, if you're 70, don't you dare wear pink, you know, or don't you dare wear shimmer. Here's my preference. If I'm doing a maturer eye, a little bit of shimmer or a little bit of metallic bounces light off that whole area and gives you like a really nice brighter eye. Pop a little bit of a brighter colour on the lid, inside corner. It's absolutely fine. I think to me, that just says like you can only have fun with your makeup until a certain age, which isn't the case at all. Everyone should be included in makeup. Everyone should feel like they can do what they want in makeup. Everyone should feel like they are included in a company. Everyone shouldn't feel like, oh, this company isn't for me because all their colours are bright, or, you know. If it's done properly, yeah, I think we have this image of, you know, light blue eyeshadow up to the eyebrow and it doesn't look right. But if it's done properly, absolutely, you can wear whatever you want. This is an interesting one. Makeup brands should wait longer before releasing their next big thing, especially foundations. Yes, I agree. Especially with, like, we had that whole Norvina situation where I swear she was releasing a palette once a week. I do think it's a little bit much. I remember back in the day, like, when a brand released a collection, it would be like, oh my god, new collection, and it only happens once every 6 months, you know? So I do think there's a lot of makeup out there. The makeup industry now isn't how it was back maybe even 5 years ago. Makeup wasn't as popular, but people like to collect makeup now, so it's really difficult to kind of regulate when it should be released, if that makes sense. But I do think it's underwhelming when a brand releases so many products, like, okay, great, another product. And you see the same colours reoccurring in their palettes over time. In terms of foundations, I think it's good to release a foundation for every skin type, every skin tone. For example, Makeup Revolution, or Revolution, I always call them Makeup, they're not called that anymore, are they? Released their, is it Conceal and Define Foundation? I think that's the name. They released one, their fans asked for one for dry skin, so they released one. They asked for whatever one, so they released one. I think that's quite good, but when it's like, oh, new foundation, new foundation, MAC are really bad at it for mascaras. Here's a new mascara, here's another new mascara. It's just way too much stuff. It's like, here's Benefit, here's another brow product. It's like, you don't need that many choices, because then you start to discontinue everything, you know, and then people get disappointed in that as well. This person says, unpopular opinion, if you don't have someone who looks like me in your campaign, then you don't want my money. I shall oblige. I completely agree. And here's why. To be of a certain race, a certain gender, let's say we're talking about clothing, and let's maybe say you're in a wheelchair, to not be able to see yourself in an advertisement or a branding at a point in time where everyone is very open to all types of people, I don't think there's an excuse for it. Let's take, for example, that Millie Bobby Brown. What was her brand called? I can't remember. Whatever. I think she said something about her brand being all-inclusive and all this kind of stuff. And I was thinking, and it's not, I know it's not the same as like race, for example, but I was thinking, where's the boy in your campaign? You're really, really young. You're a generation below me, maybe 2 or 3, I don't know. You're trying to be inclusive. Where is the boy? And I know a lot of people be like, oh, but you don't need a boy in, your brand. I think you do. If you're trying to be an all-inclusive brand, inclusive means you include. So that's why I didn't even dive into that brand. I thought it was a dumb idea anyway, but that's why I didn't even look at that brand at all. Then to be of a certain race and then see an advertisement or something like that with no one of your race in the advertisement is like, so do you want? Am I allowed? Do I have permission? This person says smaller channels / creators are better and more honest. I think you can get some big creators that are really, really honest. But personally, if I'm looking for a review of a product, here's what I do. I go onto YouTube and let's say I'm looking for a review of Colourpop's Ultra Glossy Lip. The new Sailor Moon collection, let's say, which this is from. I won't type it in and then just view what they give me. I go to the filter and I do upload date. And that kind of gives you when everyone uploaded. So the first person might have uploaded just 1 minute ago and they have 10 subscribers. I'm more likely going to watch that than somebody who has millions and millions and millions of subscribers, because I trust their opinion a little bit more. It's a little bit more real. They have no connection with a brand. They have no loyalty to a brand or another brand or competitor brand. They're not trying to impress someone who they may know from that company, and anything like that. And I'm not saying that's what big YouTubers do, but some of them might. Some of them, might have a code or whatever. So I agree and I disagree. I agree that some might be loyal to a brand, but I do think that smaller YouTubers are good to watch for reviews. Unpopular opinion, not every brand has to cater for every skin tone. I'm going to have this as my last one. Here's how I feel about this. I completely disagree. And this is just my opinion, so no one take it personally, anything like that. I feel like every company that sells foundation and concealer should cater for every single skin tone. And that doesn't mean having like 6 shades and being like, oh wow, this one's dark and this one's really light. To not include a skin tone in your brand means that you haven't thought about that skin tone. Does that make sense? So it can go either way. Yes, very pale people struggle to find their foundation shade. 100% really difficult. Yeah, I get it. On the other end of the spectrum, really deep shades of skin is near impossible. You have maybe 3 or 4 brands that cater really well to deeper skin tones. And then you have some that claim to. Here's what companies do, right? They will take a yellow undertone, and then they will get a red undertone, and they'll be like, wow, these are dark tones. And then they'll have some weird grey one, and then they'll have some weird orangey one, and they're the deep tones. That's it. And I also feel like brands would benefit from catering to these skin tones that can't find their shades, because once you find your shade in a foundation and you love it, you stick to that shade and that becomes your go-to. And then you tell all your friends who also can't find their shades that, oh, I'm using this brand is amazing for this. And then you get brand loyalty. So not only are they screwing themselves over, it's not even like a sales thing. It's a ethical thing as well. I don't want to go on about it too much, because it's a subject that really pisses me off, if I'm honest. And to say that not all brands should cater for every skin tone is excusing the rejection of races, basically. Saying, actually, we don't need you as a customer. Let's just do these first and then see how we get on with them. Like, they're not as important. That's literally it. And why else would you not create a foundation for that skin tone? And it's something that brands get away with a lot. And I'm glad brands are called out. So that was your popular and unpopular opinions. Let me know if you liked this video. Let me know if you found it useful. Let me know if you want another one. Give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. Maybe I'll have something better for you next time. Yes, thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. I will see you very soon. Bye.